Hey everyone, as a new parent, I know firsthand how overwhelming those first few weeks with a newborn can be. One of the biggest worries I had was whether my little one was getting enough to eat. It's totally normal to stress about this, especially when you're breastfeeding. You want the best for your baby, and knowing if they're getting enough milk is a huge part of that. Since babies can't exactly tell us when they're full, we have to rely on other signs. And that's exactly what we're going to cover in this video. I'm going to walk you through 6 clear signs that will tell you if your newborn is getting enough milk. We'll talk about everything from how often they're feeding to what their diapers should look like. Before we jump in, I'd love to hear from you. Drop a comment below and tell me what your biggest concern is when it comes to feeding your baby. Let's support each other on this journey. Alright, let's start with the most obvious sign that your baby is filling their tummy active swallowing. You want to hear those little gulping sounds during feeding. It's a subtle but reassuring sound, kind of like a Gentlika. Think of it like this. You know you're taking a good sip of water when you can feel it going down your throat, right? It's the same for babies. You should see their tiny throat moving rhythmically as they swallow that liquid gold. Now, a little pause between sucks is totally normal. Your baby is taking a moment to catch their breath and swallow the milk before they latch on again. It's all part of their natural feeding rhythm. But here's the thing. If you notice your baby is just sucking without those telltale swallowing sounds, it could mean they're not getting enough milk. Don't panic though. It might just be a matter of adjusting their latch or using breast compressions to help the milk flow more easily. Okay, let's talk about another big indicator of whether your baby is getting enough to eat: weight gain. Now, I know numbers can sometimes be intimidating, but trust me, this is pretty straightforward. First things first, it's completely normal for newborns to lose a little bit of weight in the first few days after birth. We're talking about 5 to 10% of their birth weight max. It's just their bodies adjusting to life outside the womb. But here's the good news. By the time they're 2 weeks old, they should be back to their birth weight. And from there, they should be steadily gaining weight, around 4 to 7 ounces per week. That's like the average weight of a small apple. Now, I know what you're thinking. How do you keep track of all this? Well, your pediatrician will weigh your baby at each checkup, so you don't have to be constantly pulling out the scale at home. Just remember, consistent weight gain is a really positive sign that your baby is getting all the nourishment they need. And if you're ever concerned, don't hesitate to reach out to your pediatrician. They're there to help. Let's be real for a second. Baby diapers might not be the most glamorous topic, but they're actually a goldmine of information when it comes to your baby's health and whether they're getting enough milk. Every diaper change is an opportunity to check in on your baby's well-being. Think of it like this. Diapers are your baby's output, and they can tell you a lot about what's going in. By paying attention to the details, you can get a good sense of how well your baby is feeding and digesting. First up, let's talk about wet diapers. These are a key indicator of hydration and overall health. By day 5 of life, your little one should be having at least 6 wet diapers in a 24-hour period. This is a good sign that they are getting enough fluids. And when I say wet, I mean soaked. A truly wet diaper will feel quite heavy when you pick it up. We're talking about diapers that feel heavy when you lift them. This weight indicates that your baby is well hydrated. The urine should be pale yellow and shouldn't have a strong odor. A darker color or strong smell could indicate dehydration or other issues. Now let's move on to the other end of the spectrum, dirty diapers. These can tell you a lot about your baby's digestive health. In those first few weeks, you can expect your baby to have at least 3 to 4 bowel movements per day. This frequency is a good sign that their digestive system is working well. And get ready for a variety of colors and textures. Baby poop can range from yellow to green to brown, and the texture can vary from seedy to pasty. Newborn poop starts out black and terry, that's called meconium, and gradually transitions to a yellow, seedy consistency. This change is a normal part of their development. It's all perfectly normal, and just a sign that their digestive system is doing its thing. As long as the poop is soft and not too watery or hard, your baby is likely doing just fine. Here's a pro tip. If you notice a sudden decrease in your baby's wet diapers, or if their urine becomes dark yellow, it could be a sign that they're not getting enough milk and might be dehydrated. This is something you'll want to address quickly. If that happens, reach out to your pediatrician right away. They can provide guidance and help you determine if there's an underlying issue. It's always better to be safe than sorry. Regular checkups and open communication with your pediatrician can ensure your baby stays healthy and happy. You know the saying, a happy baby is a well-fed baby? Well, there's a lot of truth to that. A well-fed baby is often a happy and content baby, and recognizing the signs of a satisfied eater can bring peace of mind to any parent. One of the best ways to tell if your baby is getting enough milk is by paying attention to their feeding cues and overall demeanor. Babies have their own unique ways of communicating their needs, and understanding these cues is crucial. Let's start with feeding patterns. Observing how often and how long your baby feeds can give you valuable insights. Newborns are like tiny little eating machines. They need to eat frequently, usually around 8 to 12 times a day. This frequent feeding is essential for their growth and development. That's about every 2 to 3 hours. It might seem like a lot, but it's completely normal and necessary for their tiny tummies. It might seem like a lot, but it's completely normal. This frequent feeding helps establish a good milk supply and ensures your baby is getting enough nutrients. Now, after a good feeding session, your baby should seem content and relaxed. A well-fed baby will often appear calm and satisfied. They might even drift off into a peaceful milk coma. This deep, restful sleep is a great sign that they've had a good feed. But if you notice that they're falling asleep mid-feed and then waking up hungry shortly after, it could mean they're not getting enough milk during those feedings. This might require some adjustments in feeding techniques. Another thing to watch out for is fussiness or restlessness after nursing. If your baby is consistently fussy after feeds, it might indicate they're still hungry or uncomfortable. If your baby consistently seems unhappy after a feed, it's worth checking their latch or milk transfer with a lactation consultant. They can provide valuable guidance and support. They can help you troubleshoot any potential issues and make sure your baby is getting a good, deep latch. A proper latch is crucial for effective feeding and milk transfer. Remember, every baby is different, but a generally content and satisfied demeanor is a good indicator that your little one is getting all the nourishment they need. Trust your instincts and seek support when needed to ensure your baby's well-being. Let's talk about your amazing body for a minute, specifically your breasts. They are truly remarkable and have a unique way of communicating with you. Did you know that they're like built-in milk gauges? Yes. Your breasts can give you important clues about your milk supply. That's right, you can actually feel the difference in your breasts before and after nursing, and it can tell you a lot about how much milk your baby is getting. This tactile feedback is invaluable for new mothers. Before a feeding, your breasts might feel full, firm, or even heavy. This fullness is a sign that your body is ready to provide nourishment. It's like they're saying, "We're ready to nourish that little one." This readiness is your body's way of preparing for the feeding session. And after a successful nursing session, you should notice that your breasts feel softer and lighter. This change is a clear indication that your baby has fed well. It's like they just did a major milk delivery. This feeling of relief is not just physical but also emotional, knowing your baby is satisfied. This change in fullness is a really good sign that your baby is effectively draining the breast, which is super important for maintaining a healthy milk supply. Effective drainage ensures that your body continues to produce enough milk. When your baby empties the breast, it signals your body to make more milk. This natural process is crucial for keeping up with your baby's growing needs. It's all about supply and demand. The more your baby feeds, the more milk your body will produce. Now, it's normal for one breast to feel fuller than the other, especially if your baby has a favorite side. This preference can lead to an imbalance in milk production. But if you consistently notice that one breast doesn't feel as drained after a feeding, you can try some techniques to encourage your baby to nurse on that side more, like offering it first at the next feeding. This can help balance milk production and ensure both breasts are equally stimulated. All right, let's talk about the bigger picture for a moment. A baby who's getting enough milk isn't just going to be eating well. They're going to be thriving in all areas of development. First and foremost, a well-nourished baby will be alert and active. They'll wake up on their own for feedings, eager to fill their tummies and interact with the world around them. You'll also notice that they have good muscle tone. They won't feel limp or floppy. They'll be able to hold their head up, move their limbs with purpose, and eventually start rolling over and reaching for toys. Speaking of interacting with the world, keep an eye out for those precious developmental milestones. Is your baby making eye contact? Are they responding to sounds and voices? Are they showing curiosity about their surroundings? These are all signs of a healthy developing baby who's getting the nutrition they need to thrive. Remember, every baby develops at their own pace, But if you're ever concerned about your baby's growth or development, don't hesitate to reach out to your pediatrician. They're your partner in this journey and can provide personalized guidance and support. So there you have it, 6 clear signs that your baby is getting enough milk. Let's quickly recap: active swallowing during feeds, steady weight gain, consistent diaper output, appearing satisfied and relaxed after nursing, breasts feeling softer after feeding, and your baby being alert and meeting milestones. If your baby is checking all those boxes, you can breathe a sigh of relief, knowing they're getting the nourishment they need to grow and thrive. But remember, every baby is different, and every parenting journey is unique. Now I want to hear from you. What's been your biggest challenge when it comes to breastfeeding or feeding your little one? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Let's create a supportive community where we can learn from each other. And if you found this video helpful, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel for more parenting tips, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any future videos. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.